I'm cautiously optimistic about the future. And what I saw in Sunyani really has reinforced that sense of, let me put it, cautious optimism. I saw the party in good shape in Sunyani. At relatively short notice, we brought people from all over the country down. And the atmosphere there, the sense of oneness, the purposefulness, encouraged me that despite the obvious and well-known problems that the party has gone through this year, the rank and file of our party and the structures of our party are still in good shape. And that's encouraging because, you know, the difficulty about this business, you're sitting in your office, events occur, and out there you don't know exactly how they've impacted on people. You have to make a guess, informed, educated, whatever you call it. So to see the spirit that there was inside the party on Saturday was for me a very encouraging development. Secondly, the determination that come what may, we're going to really make a fist of campaigning in 2016 and bring to bear our message to the Ghanaian people was also very evident there. The main speeches that were made were about the issues confronting Ghana, were about how we intend to tackle those issues. And the issues confronting our country are serious ones. We have an economy that has gone into a tailspin. Effectively, we're back in an IMF bailout program. That's the clearest indication of that something has gone seriously wrong. We spent a lot of time in Akufo's time weaning the country of IMF dependency. And because of the sound management of the national economy that the country witnessed in that period, we were able to achieve it. And the sound management taking place without a drop of oil revenue. Akufo has the distinction of being the political leader in whose time oil was discovered, largely as a result of the policies that he implemented, and yet did not benefit. When I say did not, I don't mean personally, his government did not benefit in any way from oil revenue. Successor governments have come who have benefited, and they rather have taken us into a ditch. Bloomberg, the Ghana success story has gone dark. All over the world and within our own country, we see that where we were taken to, we've come down precipitously, largely as a result of the mismanagement of the economy, widespread corruption, the incompetence of it.
The president has published a book of achievements, mainly on infrastructure achievement. I'll be asking you about that. But just get back onto your campaign. You named the campaign team in a different way from what we have been used to. I get the sense that you want to synchronize your campaign team with the party officials. This is new. Why is it so?
Well, perhaps it's been more evident, but it's clear. I mean, this is the third time I'm doing it, and I have to learn from my past experiences. That hopefully is the way all of us make progress, is that you learn from what has gone past. And I'm wanting to do the campaign where the party structures, right from the polling station level up to the national executive level, are at the very forefront of what we're going to do. The mobilizing capability, the mobilizing capability, whatever, is within the party. And therefore, if one can energize the party to be up and doing, is the surest way of being able to succeed in bringing together that large plurality that you need to win a presidential and parliamentary election.
There's a concern that you have Peter McMahon, who was the chairman at the time that you lost in 2008. Not just lost, but lost very narrowly.
Right.
And won a first round that you couldn't sustain.
Right.
That would be the height of perhaps a disconnect from ordinary people. For a party chairman, well, you have McMahon there as leading this effort.
Yes, I can understand it, but also to be remembered that he was the Western Regional Chairman at the time who became the majority party in the Western region. He has that to his credit as well, working very much at the grassroots level. He was able to catapult us into a position of political dominance in the Western region when he was Western Regional Minister and Chairman. So he has both sides, and I think that, like I say, all of us learn from our past. He can learn from his triumphs, and as well as from the defeat of 2000. But above all, what persuaded me to, of course, is that he's extremely familiar with the electoral processes. And essentially, that's where we are, the electoral process of Ghana, both within the country and outside in the wider African context. He's seen as one of the people most knowledgeable. He's being asked to talk about electoral systems all over the world. Even though I like, say, Dr. Afarijan, for instance, who used to go around talking a lot. He has not been an electoral commissioner, but there's a recognition that his knowledge, his interest in the area, there are other reasons, other considerations. He has good manners. He has good interpersonal relations. I don't know, perhaps with the exception of Nana Hinito, I don't know anybody else in the party who has any strong feelings about him. He's the French
who also led your campaign
to defeat
in 2012.
Policy advisor. Bachi is a large mind. There's a lot of information there which I find very useful. I appreciate very much the way he analyzes things. One of the difficulties for us, of course, is these elections which we disputed strongly, whether or not really we lost them or not. I mean, but the record is there. But I think that he has a good mastery of virtually all the issues that are confronting our country at this stage, and therefore, and then also a very good articulation. He exposes and talks about problems in a manner which are easily digestible by everybody. They are the main reasons why I have him as the policy advisor of the campaign. We have Danquah, who was General Secretary when we won the part in 2000, who's yet another person with a very deep knowledge of the Ghanaian political scene, a very deep knowledge of the party, a very committed party worker, as the strategist of the campaign. In some ways, they are the three key officials of the campaign, together with Baomi and myself, of course. And I think it's a good team. I think it's a team that hopefully will gel, will agree, will find it easy to work together, and give us that impetus that we need. Frankly, I said so in Sunyani. I'll repeat it again. At the end of the day, the taxi driver in whose car you sit, who will turn around to ask you next year where you will vote, and who will start by saying, well, what he see, we should all vote Nana Akufo Addo. That person is a major campaign asset. People, ordinary people, going about their business, promoting the idea of the party and of myself. They are, for me, at the end of the day, even more significant than this list of names who are doing specific jobs. I'm not saying I cannot downgrade them, they're very important. But I think that the people who are, if you like, right there, the so-called ground, people who do the campaigning, are in the end even more impactful than those within the hierarchy. And it is they that I am appealing to, and especially the young people of this country. This election, more than any, is about their future. We've had a government that in the last 5 years has mortgaged the future of this country on a spree of borrowing that has now put us, is a country of high-risk debt distress, which has ballooned our stock of indebtedness and compromising very much the future of our country. It is that more than anything else that has brought about the bailout, the contraction of the fiscal space that we're required to be able to do those important capital investments in our infrastructure, to open up our country and make our country ready for serious business. That is what is being compromised by this administration. So the young people of Ghana, they have no jobs. I think the highest levels of unemployment in our history are what we're witnessing now. If any group of people should come forward to back the demand for change, it's the young people of Ghana. And they are the people that I am directing my campaign to, that their future is under threat, and that together with me and the MPP, we can build a stronger future in Ghana. We can build a future of a Ghana that works, that has an economy that works, and is capable of generating the hundreds of thousands of jobs that they want. And together, we can turn this country around. I believe that, for me, that is what this election is about. Because where we are now, we're not in a good place. As a country, we're not in a good place. We've done infrastructural investments, this and that. Yeah, fair enough. But at the end of the day, what does it translate into the living standards of our people? What does it translate into employment opportunities for our young people? Is the economy of Ghana expanding? An economy which in 2008, when Akufo was leading, was growing at 8% plus GDP. And even for the moment when oil was discovered, went as far as 14%. Is today at 4%. And even that is probably a shaky percentage. We see an economy that is contracting. It's contracting in the level of industrial activity and manufacturing. It's contracting in the level of our agricultural performance. All the key indices about a country and its progress, we are going backwards in Ghana. I know there's a lot of propaganda.
Yeah, the president doesn't think so. He was launching a book the other day.
But how can you think so? He's our president.
100 secondary schools that he's put out.
Really?
Yes, it was in the book.
Yes.
School children have been given sandals to wear to go to school. And I know you're passionate about education. That's why I'm bringing this up. He has also done the roads. He put out many roads that have been done, hospitals that have been improved. Tamale Central Hospital, the Rich Hospital in Accra has been done. They are doing things that they say
anything that will strengthen our educational system, anything that will expand and improve our infrastructure are to be welcomed. But there are several other issues that all of us have to look at. The key, of course, is value for money. Akufo was able to put up 6-unit classroom blocks for 85,000 CDs at the time. And today, you're doing it for 350, 400,000. A couple of weeks ago, a month ago, we had a series of statistics that are alarming. Bonkantamanso built a classroom block for 510,000 CDs.
You mean one classroom?
Well,
or 3 classrooms?
1 unit.
1 unit of school.
Yeah.
For how much?
510,000 CDs. The regional...
500,000 CDs?
Yes. The regional minister, a friend of mine, he was there, he opened it. 2 weeks later, MTN went and built the same 6-unit classroom block for 170,000 CDs. These are all the facts that are recorded in GDA. So you ask yourself, these extraordinary discrepancies in the way in which our monies are being used. What is the story? Is this where it is indeed that the issues of corruption find themselves? Are we getting value for money? Yes, you put up things. But if indeed in doing so you have bankrupted the state, impoverished the country, what is the real nature of the achievement that you have made? It's important that the Ghanaian people are told the truth. about what's going on. Yeah, Prof, what I'm saying, for instance, Egypt is constructing a 1,800 megawatts power plant.
1,800?
Yeah,
at the
cost of what, 1.3 billion United States dollars. Abu Dhabi is constructing one at 1,600 megawatts at a cost of 1.5 billion United States dollars. Our Ameri deal and the car power together are getting us 500 megawatts at a price of $2 billion plus. So you put all these things together and you keep asking yourself, why is it that at every stage of the public transaction process, the figures that we are generating are so much more than elsewhere? What is it? What's going on? Why should we, for 500 megawatts of power, pay $500 million more than is being paid by a rich country like Abu Dhabi, which is now building one for $1.5 billion, 1,600 megawatts. You ask yourself the question. These are the matters that are thrown up, which reinforce the discussion about corruption and waste and absence of value for money in what we're doing in Ghana. And it is important that that is what we exist to do as opposition, is to point these things out to the Ghanaian people. It is not to incite disaffection, but to let them know that this is what is going on, so that when the time comes for the process of accountability to be complete, they will make informed decisions about the future of our country. We can't continue to go on. The hospital, Ridge Hospital. Yes, Ridge Hospital, for instance. I believe that it's costing us 250 million United States dollars to renovate the hospital for something like 400 odd beds.
Yes.
The government, the University of Ghana, is building with Israeli money
the teaching hospital.
The teaching hospital, $215 million for 600-bed teaching hospital.
Wow.
Everywhere you go, when you make the comparisons, this is what emerges. So that when we are saying that this today big emphasis on what we have done, we're saying that it has been done at the cost of the Ghanaian exchequer, that these expenditures are a major contributory factor to our growing impoverishment, and that far from it being a sign of good governance, there are evidence of waste, of corruption, and incompetence in the manner in which we're handling it. The President objects to the use of this word. I can't quite understand how a leader in a democracy can object to being called incompetent or whatever.
No, he said the evidence should be provided.
But the evidence is there. Yeah. I'm giving you some of them. The way in which public procurement is being done.
Yeah. Talk about that. I think there's a bit of humorous side to this. Your running mate, you seem to have done something to him, because when he came up, he was being criticized as being too technocratic. He was not a politician. I think he's having run two campaigns with you. You have infested him with some politics. At his last press conference, he was throwing a lot of low blows.
Low? No. I don't believe they're low. I think that they're justifiable.
How's he doing anyway? Is he now enjoying a lot of politics?
Clearly. And